Reality.tv.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Victorian Ultimate Championships for 2022 here in Bendigo, Victoria. My name is Daniel Clinton, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the fantastic and the fabulous Andy Moroney.
Hello, Dan. You're very, very kind. Thank you. Good to be here. Great game
kind.
that we've got lined up.
I'm not kind, I'm just honest.
Even better. Flattery will get you everywhere, Dan.
Well, if that's the case, I'm still waiting to get somewhere. Phat Chile playing Melbourne Juggernaut from the Heads of State Club.
The old enemy, as they're known as. This is a grudge match going back now almost 15 years. Had their ups, had their downs.
Oh, my word. There are some old dudes on the sideline. Seen Teo Brown.
Old dudes on the field.
Teo Brown walking down the sideline, saying hello to everyone. One of the celebrities of Australian Ultimate.
Good man, Teo. A lot of time for him. Good Frisbee family. Kelly and Teo.
And I imagine his children can't be too far off joining a team.
Yes, could do the father-son. Good family, good bloke. And then on the other hand, there's Steve Campbell, who looks to be cleaning up as well. So, takes all kinds.
Gee.
All right, we're underway. Heads of State, Juggernaut. Seb Barr looks to McDonald. Lachlan McDonald hits Seb, being poached off. Sasha Humphries marking him. So Seb goes, I'm going to put one to Lou Sheehan, marked by Raf. Loosh gives a little show.
Too easy for Sebastian Barr.
I don't think you'd be wanting to give Seb that much space. Nice little handshake between him and Sasha. And Lou Sheehan just proving he'll be a bit of a pest, showing the disc for the first goal of the game. Just not a waggle, but yeah, a little waggle. In case Chile didn't know they were playing a bunch of annoying young upstarts, they certainly do now. So welcome to the game. So yes, as you mentioned, Dan, a few more senior faces, let's say. I think, I don't know if they're gearing up for another Masters tilt. Raf, is there a, are we going Grand Masters or something? Or just playing for the love of the game? Raf doesn't seem to know where he is or what day of the week it is. We will, we'll get a concussion check for him. I'm not sure he entirely knows where he is, but hopefully we'll be able to.
It's a mini mental for dementia.
Right, okay, yeah, that's maybe what's going on with Raf. So thoughts and prayers to Raf. Chile coming out on offense after what must be said a pretty cruisy first point for Melbourne Juggernaut.
Yeah, Juggernaut allowed to really just run through their structures and get the shot that they wanted, which was ideally, you know, bar to someone.
Yeah, bar to anyone. As we see Chris Koo pick up, looks straight to Teo Brown, get the block. Teo holds it, goes under to Sash, who got deep, but contact had to happen to do it, so he's straight up. Uncontested foul. Canby's warming up. I can hear the creaking of his shoulders from here. He needs to get the WD-40 out, I reckon. If you've ever seen Wizard of Oz and saw the Scarecrow or the Tin Man, I reckon he's the Tin Man, just a lot shorter. As Russ lets one go. Keats underneath it. Nice high grab. That's beautiful. Right on the end zone line, not in. I think that's Tim Horton looks inside. Can't get it off Tim. And eventually goes inside. That's Tim Horton. And it is 1-1. Some pretty smooth offense from both teams thus far.
Oh, nice start for Chile.
Nice. And apologies if you picked up the language. To be fair to Chile, I don't think when they started playing, some of these people, I don't think there was actually such thing as broadcasting or TV, so probably not used to it.
That is actually a lie, Andy Moroney. There are some old videos of prehistoric Chile from the early 2000s winning a national title. And
how did Sasha look? Was he playing in that team?
I think he might have been.
Looks a lot better than he does now, especially the angle that we've got. I think there's a, we'd lose our license there, Kelly, if we showed what Sasha was showing us. But anyway, the pull is going up, outside in. You can hear Teo Brown's get the block in his baritone voice, and it's Barr. looks under to Lachlan McDonald, marked by Steve Whelans. Back to Barr, being marked by Marty. Back to McDonald. McDonald over to Cullen, left-hander Cullen. Dan goes to Lucien, the goal scorer from the first point. Looks off Macca going up the line. Seb's got a nice easy under. Runs the give-go to Lucien, who's got his own frisbee out there at the moment, and goes to Castrogano. And you've got to say, it's smooth, but they're probably not having a whole heap of pressure put on them right now.
Chile obviously looking to try and just slow down that offense a little bit. And I think that they got actually what they were looking for. They're looking for lots of passes out of this Juggernaut outfit, but it didn't stop them.
That's true. Oh, look, I think if you are optimistic about it, you probably look at the first offensive point, which was scored in 3 throws. They probably had to throw 7 that point. So if they, throw 14 the next, then they're going the right way. And I think sometimes that's where teams, particularly more experienced teams, need to think about defense as a combination of points. So you build pressure over a combination of points or a series of points. So if they can do that, then there'll be a good crack. 2-1 to Juggernaut on serve. Have we had a turn yet? I don't know if we've had a turn.
No, there has not been a single turn this game yet.
Very clean offences.
You would expect that, at least unforced.
Yep.
Would be very rare, I would say.
Yep.
And turns are probably going to be forced errors.
Yep.
Some sort of defensive play is most likely going to be where the turns come from this game. Phat Chile being very experienced and
excellent throwers, all of them.
Well, I believe that there is a law out there that says that throwing ability is directly proportional to time injured.
Okay, as we see, well, there you go. Put the Moz on them because seen the first turn of the game, one just getting outside of Teo and heads to state with a real chance to take an early advantage, put the first break in. It is 2-1 currently to them. Carlip Lou looks outside. Oh, and a nice grab, Dylan Taylor. They call him the turkey.
Well, he gobbled that one up.
Gobble. You'll see he comes from the top of the stack there. Turns on Teo. Teo probably thought it was gone, but a very nice grab. It was going at a rate of knots past Taylor.
With all due respect to Teo, it was gone.
Yeah.
But Taylor has just made a really, really, really nice play.
It's a good grab. Advantage, Juggernaut, 3-1.
Yeah, coming back to my theory, Andy.
Yeah, time injured
is directly proportional to throwing ability.
Okay.
And naturally, as you age, you tend to have carried a few more injuries than those who are young.
Yep. Oh, I think that,
Prove me wrong.
I think there is a tendency for receivers to, when they get senior in their years, become handlers pretty quick. So I think that stands to reason as we watch Jake Wilson pull the disc outside in. It might go out the back. It'll be right at the back of the end zone. That's an excellent pull, and it's going to stay in. So
best pull we've seen all day.
I think so. Chris Koo, pressure nice and early, goes upstairs. Tim Horton moving it through now. There's a bit of flow. Tipman Wong back to Chris Koo. Heads to state having a zone look, which is bold, as you say. Some really competent throwers on this line. Sasha Humphries being one of them. Sasha looks wide to Russell. Russell wants to see something longer. Instead goes down the line, pushes it to Sasha. And now Chile have some real flow going in. Almost on their end zone line. Wide swing across to Humphries. Couple of options right in the middle, but Tim Horton didn't realise that Sasha saw him before he saw Sasha. It doesn't matter. Scored the goal. And head to state, much like their Carnage counterparts, putting one finger up in the air, signifying that they got one break in that series of points. Really nice movement from Chile. I'm not entirely convinced that zone's the look when you've got throwers like that. I think, given a combination of their throwing ability, and I say this with respect, their age, you probably want to put them in a match and make them win with their legs.
Yeah, make them run.
You know, you think about some of the young athletes on Juggernaut. You know, you back them in with their legs, especially if Chile are going upwind, because they can front them and they can mark them under, which makes it harder for them to get the disc under.
Yep.
And anything long, anything long is going to hang.
I think that if a game of foot races, if Juggernaut were just to say, right,
you'd be feeling better about that, yeah, wouldn't you?
That, like, in a game, right? Like, do you want to play chess against the Grandmasters, or do you want to? Do you want to get in a sprint with them?
I think it's a lofty way to describe people like Steve Campbell as a grandmaster, but I do agree. I think you'd rather.
According to the rules, he qualifies. So, according to the rules, he qualifies. So I'm just going to assume that he's good to roll.
He's good to roll. For those who couldn't hear, Steve Campbell is waiting for the level above grandmaster. I think that's just called octogenarian. But anyway,
no, there is a one above. I believe it's like the super grandmaster.
We see a long disc going to Sam Jacobs, who catches the goal. And if that didn't prove our point enough, right? Because it's foot races there. And Sammy, again, with respect to Marty, didn't have much pressure. You know, he's a very, very quick young lad. And that's probably why we'd want to see a man or a matched defence coming out of Heads of State. And that's what we want Heads of State to do, is to get the block. In the immortal words of Teo Brown.
Can you have NFTs of audio?
I think you can NFT pretty much anything.
Because that might be...
I would pay overs on Teo Brown's Get the Block. Gives you exclusive access to Teo's house.
Is that like an illegal number of players? They just like clone these young, handsome, skillful guys? Age and treachery versus usually skill, right?
Age and treachery.
He's got away with words, doesn't he, Teo Brown?
He always has. I started playing Ultimate, some 15 years ago, and Teo was pretty much retired then.
Yeah. No, he's in incredible nick. Goes down to Port Melbourne Beach most days. Dips in the water. Jumps off the pier. Actually has an annual down in Port Melbourne. He's become a bit of a cult figure. Every New Year's morning, so the 1st of January, he goes and does this annual jump off the pier. And like the Pied Piper of Hamelin, he now has all these kids in the neighbourhood that follow. I think that was literally a Pied Piper. Follows him off the pier and jumps off the pier with him. So anyway, go figure. Very enigmatic figure.
He's always been a cult figure.
Yeah.
Maybe just evolved and...
He has evolved.
Reached a new audience.
Yeah. He's NFTable, definitely. He would turn him into an NFT, as we've got Cowan marking Steve Campbell, the Canberra matchup. Nice little over-the-top backhand. Gets pulled down. Back to Campbell. Campbell to Humphreys. Half a sniff from Volker. Oh, Humphreys. That one will turn into an NFT. Humphreys, it just slipped out of his hands, unfortunately. As we see a few streaking deep. Lots of shouting. High count now.
Very high count.
And the Heads of State offensive defense now gets into gear. Sees one go long with Volker. And that's the foot race. This is what would be a bit of a concern if you were Chile. Is just that pure speed, especially out of these young chaps.
It's a beautiful throw.
It was. It's got to be said, it wasn't the smoothest offensive point, but they made it work, and what they did do well was isolate the deep space for Volker.
The cut was very, very deep, so the throw had to be quite flat, a lot of punch, get down the field really quick, and there wasn't much towards the end of the back of the end zone really to throw it into. No. So excellent throw. 5-2 the score.
And that's what's going to be really important for the Heads of State players is the Chile players are very smart. So if you sit out the back, you are making their day, because they will be able to sit and poach and run bracket plays. And brackets, for those unfamiliar, is when you almost work in partnership with one of your other defenders. And whoever goes towards the disc, one defender takes it. And whoever goes away from the disc, the person at the back takes it. And so if they can run those brackets, it's going to make it really hard for Heads of State to get any sense of flow.
Do you have two? Shove one in each nostril. No, that's what you do.
want to see the adjustment now for a Juggernaut. I want to see match.
Yes,
I want to see uncomfortable, knitted sweater in spring kind of defense.
Looking at it, it looks like they've listened to us. It does look like they're coming down in match. They are. Excellent call. And already a level of pressure that Chile probably aren't in love with. Nice moves.
Yeah, the cuts down the field are struggling a little bit. The defense is there. They just need a little bit more, and they will get a turn here.
There's a foul. There's a foul. All right, so probably an uncontested foul. Looking around, the count will be getting up. Gets a nice one off to Chris Koo, middle of the field, marked by Jared Count. Chris Koo looks, he lets one rip. It's going to sit, and that's a goal. Great throw from Chris Koo. We've seen some really nice throws into the end zone so far in this game. Only 7 points in, now 8 with that goal. But I think that's what we were going to expect coming into the game, Dan, is, Head to State obviously have some world's level players, and a lot of players on Chile the same. Probably a vintage before, a couple of worlds before, but we've got some really talented throwers on both teams, so I think we're in for a treat to continue seeing that kind of stuff.
I think where that point had got to there, when Koo had the disc, it was poised on a bit of a knife edge.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell whether the defense had got on top or the offense had run out of gas. I don't know what was happening, and it seemed like, I don't want to say that was the only option left for Chile, but maybe it was. And it looked like maybe the defense had done enough and taken the gas out of the offense.
I still think that's the right move for Head to State, though, is to look at that match offense. Defense.
And that's one of the things about Ultimate, isn't it? That you can't look at one point in isolation and go, oh, no, we can't do that again, and throw it back in the bag, especially on defense. When something is, you feel like the concept is sound, you almost have to pursue that, even when it doesn't work out sometimes.
Yes. All right. Lucien to Bar. Bar doesn't waste any time, sees one he likes. It's going to be over Wheely's head. No, it's not Wheely. Great D. Steve Whelan's still got it. The Silver Fox. Great read. Because that was coming in. Seb saw it straight away. Didn't think twice. Was looking for Phillip, I think. Yes, Josh Phillip. A cousin of Joshi Phillip. Ex-Head to State and current Mudlark. Yes, and Josh Phillip on screen. 800-metre runner, and apparently a pretty good one.
And he's got the build for it.
Yes, and matched defenses again, making life a little hard. Whelans goes out. That's Tim Horton, marked by Seb Bar. Now looks to Sasha Humphries, who's had a fair bit of it, puts a pie up, and Wheelie goes down, and he has worn one where you don't like it. A little bit of
I think this is actually more of a dangerous play call. So he's saying he was preoccupied with the contact. Kelly Brown has sent the disc back. she's like, contest that.
And going back. What are your thoughts there, Dan? I think probably right.
Look, I think that Whelans has attempted to make the play. It's a 50-50, like Whelans has had to come in.
I don't know what else Josh could have done, but it affected Wheelies, so probably going back is the right thing, I reckon. 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, send it back.
No worries, Wheelie.
No one's really too upset about it, I don't think.
No, Wheelie's seeing the funny side of it. Tipman Wong, great cut up the line. And goes long, and I think it's to Phillip.
Oh, no.
Oh, Whelans, he's got it! And gives him the waggle! Don't worry about the foul, young blood. I'll get it done in the end zone.
The only way he got it was with his elbow.
And the fact that and the fact that he got a little nibble of it just makes it all the sweeter for Steve Whelans.
Oh, Phillip, you catch your blocks, mate.
And it's just inside the end zone as well. As a younger player, he won't need to learn that lesson twice.
Yeah, sometimes it's the obvious things that are really the hardest lessons to learn. Maybe because they hurt so much.
Well, and that one will sting, especially given the call earlier in the point. We're okay. Yes, everything's... Yeah, just a little sting. All right. Everyone, glad to report that everything is in working order still with Steve Whelans' plumbing. Laughing last and laughing longest is Steve Whelans catching that goal. And Teo Brown get the block, pulls the disc. And Joshi goes up. Seb instead hits under. The Chile team really mindful around some of Seb's options. Tony Castrogano now. He looks deep at one, and I think that's Sam Jacobs on his bike. And we'll jog onto it. He is proving a big handful for this Chile team early.
Just from a game plan point of view, how do you play defense against something that, look where he starts his cut. He's on the near side of the field. You know, that throw is, 40 metres away from where the cut starts, and it's in the air.
Well, given I'm currently on this team, Dan, I'm going to treat that question as rhetorical, because that would be borderline me coaching against my own team.
Yeah. Well,
if that wasn't the case...
My point is that to game plan against that, you either need speed and just go, all right, off you go,
Full
young
race.
lad, have a race, or you need to go to some sort of soft match or even a zone, something that places a player off the back so that they can't just run past you to catch the goal.
Yeah, I agree. If I wasn't on this team, I'd be playing jump. I'd be playing a zone, and I think you look at the years and wisdom of the Chile team, they'd be very good, and they've got a balance of having some youth, the people like Tipman Wong and things like that, they could probably put around the cup, and then people that they sit back, like your Teos, Tim Hordens, even Sasha's, they can read the play very well.
We need to put a zone on this team.
Oh no! My brilliant coaching's been used against me once again.
Well,
they often say your gift is your curse, as this one just lands in. Excellent pull, and they're going to put the pressure on for point one. Jared Cowan across marking Steve Campbell, and it does look like a junk again. Campbell goes up with the hammer to Raf Bulens to Sasha Humphreys, and I think that one will be an uncontested strip on Raf. From Chicken. So Chicken marking Raf. Raf moves it right across to Camby. Back to Raf. Raf moving it up. Chris Koo. Raf. This is what we're talking about. Like they're good throwers. They're going to be nailing these throws.
And they're very comfortable in this situation where they have a chance just to look at the field and think about what they're going to do.
And did get a high count.
Declan Frey just doing Declan Frey things.
Declan just being Declan, exactly. Chris Koo. Oh, yeah, I think he was out when he caught
don't think
that.
he was. I think he stepped in.
We're not going to be able to see. Oh, I reckon he was.
What does the replay say?
He was in the air. He was in the air.
He was out. Ready? Wait. Stop. I was just walking around.
Assistance from the commentary booth will help the players out, get the right call.
Oh, hand block from Chicken.
But the disc never lies.
And Kelly is steaming. Get everyone set up. That's it. And Cowan to Chicken. And Chicken almost jumps out himself. So the sideline a prominent factor.
Yeah. And Juggernaut riding the wave a little bit.
Excellent D.
He's just had his hands up and
I think
the throw is just been,
yeah.
He's just tossed it into him. Then,
But
well,
you got to be there.
yeah,
With who?
the lucky create their own luck sometimes.
That's
Eddie.
it. That's it. Chicken jumping in, almost jumping in and out at the same time, into the out zone, into the end zone, and almost out of bounds. And they're cheering him off. I don't know if he's injured. No, he's not. He's just getting a chair. We are cheering a player off mid-game. Sam Lee, known as Chicken. Well done. No, we're not going to replay just for you. You can watch it tonight. Thank you very much.
Do you have the chicken sound effect?
I think that's a first. I don't think I've ever seen a player chaired off mid-game
For jumping it in.
for getting a D, for essentially having the disc thrown into his hand, let's face it. Anyway, Tim Horden grabs it, picks it up, looks at Teo, holds it, holds it, holds it. High count, so they're right in the back corner of the end zone. Hoss will be loving this. Right into Teo. Teo's going to look to rip some heat, I reckon.
He's going to have to.
Outside in, back end, over wheelie, it's still alive, and Dylan just does enough because Russ was closing in and was no doubt going to gobble that up. Wheelie in his prime would have had that, I reckon. Seattle the call, whatever that play means. Taylor looks to Adrian Lim. Lim back to Jake Wilson. Oh, a little bit of confusion, but Keat Min Woo gets it. Looks at Williams, and I reckon that's going to be a turn. Pick. That was then a turn pretty much simultaneously, and one's going long. Teo doesn't like it. Teo is instead patient. Rips a cross-field scuba just inbounds for Whelans. And Whelans going to let one fly. And it's Sam Jacobs on Russ. And they're closing in. It's going to be close. Jacobs gets there first, gets inside. And once again, the wheels proving the difference. They need Sasha out there. I reckon he could match him.
Sam Jacobs is rapid.
He's
and
really...
I appreciate your faith in Humphreys.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with my elder compatriot and say you're on drugs.
And the heads of state sideline looking to catch it, and not even they could do it. That cleared not only the field, but the oval itself. So probably wouldn't mind that one back. I think that was Wilson. So it's Tim Horden picking up the disc.
Horden has moved back into handler duties, starting as more of a receiver.
Chris Koo over to Teo Brown. Teo has Russ long, doesn't want him. Dylan Taylor playing quite aggressive as that deep. I don't mind it because right now it's not coming and it's enabling him to put more pressure and help the wings out. Teo Brown, another scuba. He's thrown a couple of nice scubas now. This one falls in the lap of Horden. Tim Horden.
I think Wilson needs to play further down the field as that far side wing, be more aggressive. Right now there's two people marking one person.
And Wilson just got a hand to that. Whelans struggled a bit, and I reckon there's going to be a travel call. Probably fair enough.
He needs a breather.
The travel call applauded from the sideline. All right, so Hoss resetting their offense, moving it through. Jacobs goes the outside in flick. And Wilson, who I think was one of the players starting that play, ends up being the one finishing it, and I think that's half, 8-4.
Yeah, it's a quick half time. Only 28 minutes gone on the clock.
Steve Campbell furious. He stood up out of his chair for nothing. He has promptly returned to it. Excellent. So I'd say if you were to count the amount of camping chairs that the Chile team has brought, this more resembles kind of like they're going to a day on the green or something. There's a lot of camping chairs, few eskies. Don't get me wrong, I am all about that life. I mean, you're on my camp. I'm all about that life, but not just the number of camping chairs, as we can see Rex getting a shot. Some of them are nice, like they're proper.
Some of them have built-in eskies.
They've all got cup holders, don't you worry.
I think one or two of them actually has a footrest.
Yeah. So a couple of the Chile boys obviously in a good paddock from a financial perspective, getting the real top of the line camping chairs. I like it.
I'd never thought about it. judging the team on their camping chair
game.
game.
You're not going to be able to unsee it now. So,
hey, look at me. I am the captain now.
So, some with double storage.
Yeah.
Some with real nice kind of brushed aluminium. Yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah. So much room. Steve Campbell's the one with the most padding. And he probably needs it. Rest his weary
It's even
bones.
got a bit of a headrest on it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is lovely.
Those really good camping chair game.
Yeah, you got to respect that. And it does show that this Chile team enjoy playing Frisbee, but also probably enjoy the finer things in life. You know, there might be a few tinnies in that esky that just might get cracked after this game.
Yes,
Half-time oranges. Yes, of course. Oranges, no.
They're planning to do this season? Is it a tilt for the title kind of deal?
Yeah, I think it is. It's been really spearheaded by the return of Lachlan McDonald. Definitely on the Fox team. Took some time out of the game. Since having Luca's made a return back to the club and has really been fanatical about getting a good team together. Taking it unusually for Hoss standards, taking a pretty big squad. I think we got 24 odd, 24 and a half if you count me. And
a half.
The half, yes, half a calf, you get half. And yeah, it's a really interesting cross section in terms of experience, ranging right through from people like McDonald, Barr, myself, very the elder statesman at least within heads of state, right through to Joshy Philp, as we mentioned, and we saw today, and Lucien, really junior talent. But I think pretty smooth cross section. We've got players that have played Worlds, we've got players that have played multiple nationals, uni games, all those things. So I think when you've got players of that, you have to be looking to take a tilt, like you're in that window to have a go. And so, yeah, I think Hoss's expectations would be to be in the final at the tournament for Southern Regionals.
Yeah,
probably up against the Ellipsis.
I've long been a Lachlan McDonald fan. I've always, a few years ago, actually, before he kind of took his break, I believed he was the best defender in Australia. I didn't think that there was anyone who was stronger defensively. He was the dude that was pulling matchups. Mike Niels, any kind of any kind of big name receiver. It was Lachlan McDonald pulling that matchup and often giving them the business.
Yeah, I agree, and I think a testament to his versatility. You're actually seeing Lachlan play the O-line because I think
which is a very big departure from what he was known for. He was the hard-nosed, I'll run all day on defense. Don't look at me to score points. I will just
shut down your best player. So I think that's a real positive for the team to know that even though this guy's got an amazing toolkit from a defensive perspective, we're also going to use his patience offensively. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a tournament here where he doesn't have a turnover. Like, he's really about that safety. Let the shot takers like your Seb Bars and maybe even a TCAS, let them take the shots. Mac is just going to keep the chains kind of turning. So that's the plan. There is a Worlds team. There is another team going to Worlds. That'll be Hoss's 4th consecutive World Clubs.
Yeah, wow.
Which is something I think the club should be very proud of. That's not their team, but not this team necessarily, but there will be some crossover.
So Juggernaut will kind of combine parts of Carnage with
I think so.
Some imports outside of the club?
Oh, I think it'll be predominantly a mix of Carnage and Juggernaut. Also probably some friends of the club as well, people that have either played for Hoss once upon a time or played with us at Worlds before. It's very interesting. We've had players play back-to-back Worlds with us and have never stepped foot in Australia. So we consider them very much part of the club, and it's great to keep those relationships on a global scale going. So that's the plan, and there's a lot of energy around the club, and I know there's been a lot of focus on this tournament because, as we've said in previous games, it's great to play against each other and even against your Chilis and or Ellipses or whatever at scrimmages, but it's Nationals is one, and Nationals is a tournament. So you need to play 3-4 games a day.
Oh wow!
And practice doing that.
They were a mile offside, and
not called.
Chile should probably get on that and get themselves a couple of repulls. It might wear down this Juggernaut offense and defense.
Yeah, some free brick marks. So Russ has it, looks and lets one go. Is it going to sit?
Yep.
It is. Oh, and he's dropped it. Milo just flubbing that one a little bit. I think it was just at the height of, do I go to my knees or lay out or try and just kind of clap catch it. Got caught in two minds. Otherwise, a certain goal. He's smiling. He's seeing the funny side of it. He's having a good time. The positive, aggressive intent from Chile early in this second half.
And while we wait for Jared Cowan to pick up the disc, we should really talk about the Ulti TV Patreon.
We should. What would you like to talk about the Ulti TV Patreon?
I was looking to you because I've done it already. I thought that maybe you could enwisen us a little bit, maybe in a moment.
Yes.
As TCAS veers from the near sideline.
Castrogano has it at just before the brick mark, moves out to Carlet Blue. Henriksson is poached, eventually comes to get it. Hits a nice gainer, lots of time from Tony Castrogano. Doesn't see anything he likes upfield, so looks to swing it back. Henriksson goes scuba, travel call. And it's going to come back, travel call.
Yeah, Tippmann
on Henriksson.
Tippmann making a fair enough call.
All right.
It's the old,
Henriksson's going to talk about it because he doesn't like it, but guess what? That ain't going to change anything, so get on with it, young blood. As he gives the commentary a dead stare. Ooh.
The laser.
Well, I'm his lift home, so he'd want to be careful. Henriksson.
You just, I think you got a little bit of sunburn off that one.
Great swing out to Cowan. Cowan almost has a little trouble of his own.
Oh, you got to go.
Bad luck from Cowan. And one has to cover deep. Russ picks up, looks for the quick give go. Chicken makes life hard for him. Campbell to Wong. Tippmann Wong goes with the flick to Chris Koo. Chris Koo with the flick into the middle. They've now switched to a match. Penny has dropped. Heads of State have eventually worked out what their defense is. Steve Campbell looks up for the high release, doesn't like it. Instead goes inside to Koo, middle of the field. Koo out to Milo. Milo fakes the throw into the end zone. Instead throws it into Carlet Blue, who is immediately gone. It stretched the field. Declan Frey is standing down the back of the end zone doing absolutely nothing. It's 6-on-7. He is not moving, but he's not going. Castrogano is not going to let that stop him. What will stop them is Carlet Blue throwing it directly into the ground. So we've got Carlet. You won't see this too much.
That's a spike, yo.
And you may remember, this is the man I said I'd NFT. If you could NFT one player, who would it be? Mine would be Carlet. And probably wondering if that's the best
Does
idea.
he realise that this is not American football and it doesn't stop the clock?
No.
You don't get another couple of downs to make the throw.
Look, if you needed a stronger case as to why left-handers shouldn't throw flicks, you've got it right there.
Well, as commentary's resident lefty, I'll leave that expertise to you.
Yeah. So Steve Campbell walking up. He's going to be halfway to the end zone if he keeps going. Instead, puts it in. Heads of State running a junk. Milo coming in. Campbell looking out. Campbell then a big step in through the cup, and it works really well as effective. Resets the count. Nice wide throw through the cup, through that break. Chris Koo and another break. So Heads of State's wall needs to tighten up and set, which it hopefully can now. Russ, not sure what he likes. Looks back at Teo, engages Teo, throws. Teo, no count, no one on him. Moves out, nice wide back flick to Koo. Koo's had a lot of the disc. He's played really well so far. He's been very solid. Throws, deep by Carlet, but it goes through to Milo, and they can get a run on now because Carlet had to move out of position to get that D. Russ, they've gone. They've made the switch. They've made the switch very late to match. It looks like they've all adjusted. Russ goes up the line, doesn't come. They are about 5 metres out from their end zone line, maybe 10. Looking on the wide side. And just dies a little bit of wind combined with Carlet Blue getting in amongst that. And I think we've seen 3 or 4 turns this point. Carlet doesn't bring it up. Looks to Rodney. Rodney, big backhand fake. Carlet Blue generating the offense. Is he going to throw a flick this time? No, he learns his lesson, keeps it on the backhand. Henriksson Goes upstairs, flippy floppy scuba into Declan, to Cowan, to Castrogano. Tony still a fair few behind the disc. Declan's in another postcode, sitting down the back, mega dump style. And Chicken's calling the stack. Castrogano not thrilled. Excellent up the line cut from Cowan. Gives it back to Tony, and Tony doesn't score the goal to Henriksson. Henriksson right on the end zone line. Puts it out in front of Sam, and that's a very nice goal.
Lots of players hands on knees. It's hot out there, and they're starting to get a bit tired at the moment.
Yeah.
Chile just run to a bit of a standstill, and Juggernaut still able to find enough wind in the lungs to...
I think the observation from Chile, which was spot on, is probably more turns in that point than in the first half combined. So, yeah, I think you're spot on, and that's signified by hands on haunches. I think, Dan, as we see, it's hard to believe that was the same point, that drop in the end zone. Travel call. And I think we've got a timeout, is it? A timeout called.
Seems like one of those mutually agreed upon.
Yeah. We'll both have one. We'll split half a timeout each. Who called it? Yeah. Yes, the game called it. Sake of the game, timeout. I think just to let everyone.
While we're sitting in this timeout, we'll tell you a little bit about the Patreon for Alti.tv. This coverage brought to you by the kind folks of this great Australian company. We travel around, we cover Ultimate, but we need your help to do so. So if you enjoy watching us cover games and tournaments like this, please jump on the Patreon, become a patron, help us cover more tournaments like this. We can't do it without you.
Absolutely, yeah. Certainly dependent on the support from the community, which is fantastic. Need to keep it going. And it's also not just a sign of support. You do get a lot of benefits and perks, such as being able to vote on which games we cover. Tell us what you want to see, and we'll give the people what they want, Dan.
Because at the end of the day, we're here for the fans of Ultimate, those that love the sport as much as we do, and we want to bring it to you. That's why I drove nearly 12 hours yesterday to the city of Bendigo.
That's right, we
Can't
do it
say
for love.
that Bendigo was on my hit list when it came to places to travel, but I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here to watch this tournament, and, well, it's turned on the weather for us today.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, Ultimate TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Welcome back. We have had a timeout on the field. I think both teams probably called one after that point. A very long point coming out of half. 9-4, heads of state have the advantage. But it's been a good game so far.
Enjoyable.
Very enjoyable. And I think enjoyable for the players as well. In years gone by.
Yeah, the encounters were spicy.
There was probably a little more bad blood and spice, as you say. But I think these days maturity's prevailed, and there's a lot of hugs and handshakes on the sideline between the two teams.
A little bit more humility, I think, between both teams.
I think we're just fatigued. We were too tired. Hatred takes a lot of energy, and I love it, by the way. I hate a lot of things, but it takes. And I still hate chili, but it just takes a lot of energy, and it's easier to show love, and that's what we've done.
Well, to be fair, everyone loves to hate chili.
Yeah, I think they used to. I think that's starting to change. I think there are others emerging, and that's why you're seeing a lot of handshakes and hugs on the sideline between the players.
At least that used to be the case.
Yeah, everyone's here having a good time. There's a lot of admiration for their camping chair game. A lot of admiration. Yeah, we did miss Tom Rigacki. I think he's got a lot to answer for. But yes, a lot of love being felt around the club.
And I think
Excellent pull.
It's nice how Ultimate has evolved that, you know, Heads of State and Chile were often the villains.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
neither are
No,
the villains anymore.
There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love and respect for people like Sash and Wheelie and Teo and Kelly, who's part of the club as well. And we've actually had some crossover. People like Tipman Wong playing for both clubs. But rather than that being vilified in any way, we're actually very happy when we see Tipman's face.
Mostly because Tipman Wong is a ray of sunshine.
Yes.
And he brightens every day.
And as we're talking about how well they all get on, there is an extended call about what's happening, and people are very frustrated. So it's great. It's great that we've still got a little bit of that DNA, a hint of it here. So
Pretty sure if you asked Teo to throw down in a battle of one sock, he would take it up in an instant.
Oh, yeah. So defense sets. I think I was probably just talking rubbish when the pull went up, but that pull was exceptional. That was back corner. It's a great pull. Chris Koo goes to Whelans. Wheelie, excellent lefty backhand. See, that's what Wheelie brings. Really nice crossfield backhand. Opens the whole field up, and now Chile can get a bit of flow. Bulens through to Rappaport. Haven't seen him, I don't think, on the field until now. Rappaport fakes the hammer. Instead goes the flick. Tim Horton, nice pick up by Wheelie. And Wheelie, another big swinging backhand. He can just open the field up with that backhand.
9-5. Juggernaut, yeah, they're in front, but I'd love to see some more pressure defensively.
Yeah. Chile aren't, 9-5 is not game over by any stretch, so.
I think that the scoreline is probably, I don't know if it's flattering or if it's,
I feel that's about right. I don't think Heads of State are in top gear.
Maybe I'm giving Heads of State more credit than is actually due, and maybe not enough credit to Chile. That's
Look, two points to Chile and this game changes. This game changes. It's a couple of breaks and it is game on. And make no mistake. Whilst it's all very friendly, these people are competitors. You got people who are mid-40s. You don't get out here and get to trainings and get up and get to Bendigo without having a competitive spirit. So a couple more points and it's game on.
It's exactly a very great point that you make, because a lot of these men are competitors, but they're not just an average Joe kind of competitor. They're a competitor in the body of a pure athlete.
Yeah.
And at 45, 50 for some of them, they're still, they're not getting blown off the park. So
absolutely not. Some of them still have, single-digit body fat, I reckon. You look at them and they're in incredible nick. So Phil looks to Lucien over to Seb to Philip. Philip, backhand, Macca, and as you see, Macca just moving the chains, goes to Castrigano, and Chile get the set on now, are able to set the D. Castrigano looks for the give-go, can't get it. Instead, Jacobs speeds to one, looks to speeds to two, and that's Philip.
His change of direction was good, does Philip? Often those track athletes, not so great on
they loop around a bit.
Going around cones or changing directions, but he looks good. He seems to have a bright future ahead of him, and if his genetics are anything like his cousins, he's in rarefied company.
Totally agree. And I just wonder if the point before last, that longer point, has just sapped Chile a bit. I kind of get the feeling there aren't as many players kind of sprinting to the line.
Well, the wind has long since gone.
Which you'd imagine works to I think, probably Chile's favour. Gives them a chance to execute their long throws with precision. And they've got the throwers to do it. Most players on that line that we're looking at can send a bomb long.
Well, my train of thought was actually heading in the opposite direction, that maybe a bit of wind would help Phat Chile, because then it might force Juggernaut into a shorter game. Allow them you know, to play a bit of zone with a little bit more effect.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, we did say a nice way to shut Heads of State down would be by having the zone out there. Teo picks up, throws to Campbell. Campbell to Koo. Koo looks for Whelans. Whelans has a go deep here, and he might get it. He doesn't. He's really looking to work Declan Frey over. Adam Rappaport goes with the hammer over to Whelans now, and there's one going deep. Milo comes under. Excellent undercut, really well covered by Carlip Lou. Goes under to Canby. Excellent grab by Canby. Still got it. Canby to Koo. Koo to Bulans. Really nice flow from Chile. They've got it up almost to their brick mark. Koo looks at Canby, looks him off. Koo goes with a big outside flick, but unfortunately doesn't have enough air underneath it, and Heads of State are going to take it from the corner. Prior to that point, though, really nice flow from Chile, moving it up the field. And lots of good cuts.
Koo really hasn't done anything wrong today.
No,
that's
he's
really
been one
his
of their
first
best.
error.
Yep.
And, yeah, just that outside end flick to the far side of the field.
And he knew it straight away. You saw his head kind of drop to go. That's the first blemish, which is unfortunate because, as you say, he's been great today.
Flawless.
So Heads of State have a chance now to put a break in, really make it hard. We take it to 5-11. Carlip Lou, and there is a stoppage. Well, I'm not sure what the call is. Maybe a.
Declan Frey just being Declan Frey.
I apologise to the entire Ultimate community for whatever that clown was on about.
If there was a club, though, that Declan Frey was born to join, it was Heads of State.
100%, yeah. Cowan to Henriksen. Henriksen, no mark. Let's go a nice gaining backhand to Lucien Lee. Jared Cowan looks the flick, throws the flick to Henriksen. Henriksen, not much of a mark. Engages the dump, moves it up. Lucien Lee. Back to Henriksen. You could hear a pin drop out there at the moment. I think we've got some tired bodies. Carlip Lou. Chicken to Jared Cowan. Jared Cowan lets go a bomb, and it's
no.
Declan on Canby, and Canby's done enough. And there's been a call, and Canby's filthy, and I reckon he has every. He wouldn't want to have that. Oh no, he's waved it away. Good, okay.
Yeah,
I don't know if there was a call. Canby's talked it out of him in his incredibly diplomatic way.
It was a very, very spirited conversation, I think. All right, well, that's interesting. Oh, damn.
And it's gone up. Declan and Canby are having words, but Wheely's caught it long, which is the important thing. They're still going. We are playing a point, and they're still yapping. Now Declan is contesting the size of the disc. This is what will bring the game into disrepute.
So I want to return back to our conversation about how there was a lot of love between the teams and how the bad blood was.
Look, you need to throw a bit in this just so you know it's us. Campbell, he's got the red mist in his eyes. Canby, back in the days of 2008, looks to give go. Nice bid from Chicken. Raff goes to Wheely. Wheely on the end zone line. Canby looks, oh, he wore one. He's okay, fair enough, uncontested foul. Canby has the look.
Yeah, Canby's worn worse ones than that at training.
Yeah, I think he's okay. Nothing untoward in any of that. Canby's got the look, got the eye of the tiger. Campbell to Bjorns, and he's scored the goal. Good frisbee all round. A little bit of shenanigans, but I think importantly some good frisbee.
Maybe this is the way back for Fat Chili.
Maybe it is. This is. You don't want to fire him up. I remember it wasn't the year I played, but there was a year where Heads of State played Chile and someone fired Tom up. Heads of State were on top easily, and they fired him up.
Is it Mark Isherwood?
I think so. We might see if we can get a word with Steve Campbell and ask him to censor himself, because I know he's running hot right now. He's got the red mist. We'll see if we can get him. Yeah, they did pick me, believe it or not. I'm a little bit sore. I desperately wish I was out there. That was some of your best, mate. That was a real return to kind of the years of 2008 and 2010.
Well,
like
I've
that?
got a couple for the weekend. That was one of them. Happy to be a part of it.
What was the discussion between you and Frey? It seemed like you were talking more than you were playing.
I tapped Fry with my hand on his back.
Yeah.
He's then called. He said foul, but then kept going
Right
towards
away.
the disc.
Yeah.
Then he dropped it and then wanted to bring it back. But I went, hey, barely touched you. Come on.
Yep.
All right. 20 years ago, there's no call there, and he was a good man there and went no call.
Oh, very good.
So, yeah.
Well, very entertaining,
times.
mate, and very good to see you still getting around there. We love it.
I'm almost done. for 15 years, I've been almost done.
Mate, if I feel almost done, I can only imagine where you're at. But anyway.
No, it is a lot of fun. This is one of the best times of my week is the beers at the end of our game we play once a week. There's no training. Just come and have a game for an hour and a half. And
we were remarking on, we could tell it was Phat Chile, or this Chile, because you got a very impressive camping chair game.
Oh,
there's a lot of camping chairs that are quite nice.
That's top deck, top drawer. All right, that thing won't break no matter who sits on it.
This is a team that values comfort and luxury.
Ergonomic,
lumbar
everything,
support.
yep. It's pockets everywhere. Don't worry about that. I'm just disappointed there's no real quality 5-star accommodation in Bendigo, or I'd be there too.
It's not what Bendigo's known for, no.
No.
An Airbnb.
No
nice
spa in
Airbnbs.
our place, that's for sure, and I need it.
All right,
hey.
well, maybe an ice bath. We'll see if we can get you an ice bath.
That too.
Yeah.
Huh? A spa room?
If anyone has recommendations around a spa room,
Bring it on. Bring
a
it
day
on.
spa perhaps, or an aged care facility, please call in. Recommend anything to us, because I think not only Chile but myself would be very interested to hear more.
Right, and these boys are looking their usual, fired up, ready to go for the season.
That's
good.
Just prior to all the fireworks out there, we were saying how much the teams have matured to have a mutual love and admiration for each other. But it's nice to we got to make sure everyone knows it's us,
Absolutely. I was just looking for an opportunity. There it was.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. So thank you. Good luck for the rest of the game and the rest of the tournament, mate.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
Was Steve Campbell, the old man of the sea, as John Greenfield likes to refer to him. And another timeout call. So 11-6 with Juggernaut scoring that last point there.
When I say Phat, you say Chile. Phat, Chile, Phat, Chile, Phat, Chile.
That is, of course, Phat Chile spelt with a PH. Much like Stephen.
So a shout out to the various heads of state and Chile alumni tuning in, getting some feedback. Please let us know what you're thinking of the game. Either the Alta TV page or our pages.
I was on last point. There, go for it.
Well, only about 11 minutes left to play in the game. Phat Chile with quite the deficit.
Get the block.
So heads of states, defensive line, apologies. Declan Frey still coming off, having gone absolutely bunter. Not really sure he's got much to complain about, to be honest. I think slight overreaction, but anyway.
I think he's still complaining about
He is, yeah.
the double team, the disc space, and the foul call.
He's a character.
One person worth mentioning is actually Jared Cowan. In the past, if there was a criticism to have of Cowan, it was probably that he was too immobile, not mobile enough, and it looks like he's spent a bit of time either on the running track or in the gym, and he is looking very, very agile at the moment.
It's so important for, obviously all defenses, but certainly with heads of states, just to have a nice dynamic handler that can kind of bring flow, especially if they've got the turn and it's been a bit of a long point, someone to bring that movement through so you're not purely relying on the cutters is a great asset. Really nice inside throw. Unfortunately, it just goes past Horden, cleaned up by Williams, and now Dylan Taylor to Jake to Adrian Lim. Adrian Lim also coaching the heads of state Phoenix team, the women's team. Jake Williams now. Jake Williams, let's go. A flat flick to Turkey Taylor. Grabs the disc. Couple of meters inside the end zone, and that's an excellent shot. We had a perfect view of it here.
Is it because of his legs? Because you got a set on him. There's some tree trunks out there.
Taylor, oh yeah, he does not skip leg day. I don't think he skips any day in the gym. He's no Tony, but he's close. So as we see, out to Bullman. Bullman nice, making space, moving the disc straight away to Williams.
Look at this cut.
It's right around the back, isn't it? Yeah.
To see him through all of those players.
Back corner.
Great play. 12-6. 12-6. And 8-ish to play. I don't think we're going to hit time cap here, I think.
It'll be touch and go.
The
It is
fire,
hot. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one more timeout. Both teams starting to get a little tired.
Yeah, the fire is just dying down a little bit in the game.
That's just why we need Declan and Canby back out there.
Good fist fight to raise the spirits of your team.
That's right. Yeah, sometimes just given a
Unorthodox approach, but
yeah,
all right.
a little bit of inspiration comes in all forms. Okay, so we see Heads of State's defensive team pulling up win. Colour blue with the pull. Let's go, a lefty backhand. It'll not be a bad pull. Make it past the brick mark. Tipman Wong picks up, goes to Marty. Marty, Steve, Campbell. Canby has it. Looks back. I think that's Raf Bulan's. Probably at the brick mark to Milo. Nice leading pass. Runs onto it. Canby covered by Lucien. Back to Milo. Milo back to Canby. Really good flow this point. Chile making a statement. They're going to try and win it with their legs. Tipman Wong. Back to Canby. Canby has Marty wide if he wants it. Doesn't. Looks like they're kind of running four back. Oh, great D from Lipper, but I don't know if he had to. He did have to make a little bit of contact with Wheelie to get it. Uncontested foul. Oh, strip. I think uncontested strip. Bulan's. Bulan's to Canby. Excellent cut from Canby. Great point from him so far. Goes the open stance backhand. Dump swing scores the call from the sideline. Dump is the call. It wasn't dumped, and I think Teo is not impressed. Yeah, okay. Teo has some feedback on that. The dump swing score was called very early. Unfortunately, far sideline. We'll give him benefit of the doubt. Couldn't hear. But I think Teo is
sometimes you get caught in that trap. You get caught in that trap of the end zone's right there, and there's an open cut, and I should throw the goal.
Yep, and you've tuned out for half a second, and all of a sudden the stall's at 7, and that's your only option, which doesn't help from a pressure perspective. Nice big swing early out from your man, Cowan. Your man, Dan. Henriksen, I think he's towed that.
It looked in. Like, it looked
I thought
okay.
he was all right. As we have a
Like,
look.
admittedly, he bobbled it, and he should have caught it the first time, but it looked like he caught it in. Yeah, he's good. Okay, they're going to play it as in.
Yeah, Henriksen. Cowan goes up the line. This time doesn't get it. And there's a bit of a miscommunication on the dump, but Chile have a chance to put this one in. At 12-6, they're picking it up from the red zone. In the middle, Campbell. Big outside backhand. Oh, I think Wheelie, uncharacteristic. He's had a great game. Wheelie, almost too much time, you know what I mean? And Frey looks, Volker comes under, and they have no one deep of Volker. Does the right thing, dumps it back to Frey, and now they've actually got some players up in front of the disc. One goes, and Declan basically throws it directly into Marty's pouch. I don't think either sideline's overly impressed with the quality, but we must say it's a bit of a fatigued point. A few turnovers so far.
Marty's actually going to call an injury here.
Yeah, that was the disc. I think he wasn't, well, obviously he wasn't expecting his opponent to throw it directly to him. Did you jar it, Marty? A jarred thumb from Declan throwing the disc directly at him. Nice D there, Marty. Take the D, mate. They all count. High release, backhand, goes to Tipman Wong. Nice grab high. Gets to Sash. And now Sash is the one that's deepest. Whelans goes. Not on it. Canby won't want him. Instead goes back. Gets to Raff. Raff has Whelans out wide. He has Humphreys pointing for a wide one. Canby. Good patience. Such good balance from Canby. Great fakes. Also, a lot of balance. Like
I should talk to Canby about his application to the Nugget Club.
I think
get him involved.
Yeah, I think he's, given his service to the game, he'd be looking at life membership. I think.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And he is more nuggety, but I think
short of stature.
Yeah, but seriously, like the balance that gives him. You look, he's always throwing so balanced. It's not like he's all arms and legs and all over the place. He's really set, really good core strength. Tipman Wong tries to get the swing, and now Heads of State going to look to run and gun and put a quick dagger in the coffin.
A dagger in the coffin.
A dagger in the coffin. I'm going to stick with it, Dan.
All right.
Thank you. And there's the coffin and there's the dagger. Right next to the nail.
Juggernaut stabbing.
Yeah.
Stabbing this one.
The shanking. Yeah, so 13-6. That was a bit of a grind point for both teams. Both coming off a little sore.
Hard work out there at the moment. So we see the Liu foul and the missed throw into the end zone. That was one of two.
What do we got? Got some NFTs on the sideline. Early adopters. Millennial generation. Are we past millennials now? What are we up to? Would you be a millennial or earlier? Gen Z. Got
Yeah, these
Gen
are
Zs.
Zoomers.
Zoomers, is that what they're called? Oh, okay. Zoomers. What are you? Are you a millennial?
Yeah, well, no, actually, I'm Gen X. I'm what you are.
Yeah. I don't know what I am. Yeah,
you're almost a boomer, mate.
Old enough not to lie. Yeah, I won't like the answer. That's what I'm old enough.
You are nearly a boomer.
Pool
Andy
goes
Moroney.
up. Teo Brown goes to Chris Koo. Played a good game. To Doc. Adam Rappaport. Count's getting high. And a D on Raff around the disc. Probably looked a little late and engaged the dump a bit late. As quick give go converts 14-6.
Sam Jacobs is just too good at frisbee.
He does. He's got a set of wheels on him, doesn't he?
But not only that, you see he plays in a good spot there. He gets his hand up, he gets the block, and then the wisdom not just to go straight away, but just to hold the cart, go up the field, which opens up the space to throw into. So 14-6, and time cap roughly 50 seconds away. Game to 15. It's been an enjoyable game.
It's been an enjoyable.
I've enjoyed.
You wouldn't. It'd have to be a different kind of game to enjoy a 14-6 game. It has to bring something different, and I think that's what it did. I think
there's an extra dimension here.
There was. There's history. There's also the current day warmth. There's some good play. There was some discussion and some hijinks and shenanigans and tomfoolery. Got any other of those kind of words? No, that's okay.
I think you've covered it well.
But yes, an enjoyable game. Also, a lot of goodwill, a lot of chats and hugs and high fives on the sidelines between both teams, complimenting each other's plays, and also quite a few retracted calls or uncontested calls as well, which I think is showing that these are both teams that want to play hard but play quite fair as well and have a good time doing it.
I think that's probably something worth mentioning, is that back in the bad old days, a call was never ever retracted, even if it was horrible. And it's a sign of how Ultimate has improved over the years.
The whole sport's probably come a long way with that, and I think as well as the rules adjudicators, the arbiters, whoever writes the rules, helping make it clearer for players to understand where that line is. As we see Russ at halfway now, engages Whelans in the dump. Goes to Humphreys. Humphreys lets go a big flick to Milo, just too high. And Heads of State will have a chance to put in their 15th goal of the game. And Dan, so as we get towards the close probably of this game, what's the last game time slot, do we know? Or the game that we're covering?
I will tell you when we get there.
Excellent.
That's one of those.
I like keeping people guessing, keeping them on their toes. Cowan.
I believe it's from the women's division.
Excellent. Looks to Lip. Carlip looks up the line. Nice grab from Declan. Goes. Well, that's a genuine hospital pass. And Tony had a good chunk of that.
Declan Frey was very assertive as to what he wanted, and then he served up. Not a great pass.
Yeah, Tony definitely had touched it. I just don't know if he'd had control. Hospital pass.
Nah, okay, fair enough, he had it. You
I
can see it. It's like
I don't know if he
hand.
had control, but he touched it. So, anyway, it might be going.
They'll figure it out.
I think it's uncontested. Yeah. It's in. Castrigano looks the flick, elects not to throw it. Goes to Cowan. Cowan looks to break, does. Goes the backhand to Castrigano, keeps the flow going to the high side. Handsman, Sammy Jacobs goes to Henriksson, who looks to hit Volkja. Will he be in? I think he is. I think that's the game.
Yeah, I think we're done here.
I think that's it. So thank you very much for tuning in. An entertaining game, played in good spirits with a bit of good humour along the way. Well done to Heads of State. And also congratulations to Chile. Still got it, still going around. And most importantly, still have some great camping gear and some camping chairs. So that's it for this game. We, as Dan mentioned, do have one more game from the women's division coming to you in about 15 minutes' time. But Dan, any final thoughts from yourself?
It's always a pleasure, Mr. Moroney, commentating with you, and a pleasure commentating both Heads of State and Chile, two of the best clubs in the country. So I enjoyed it a lot, and I think that's all from me.
Excellent. All right, well, tune in for the final game of the day of Southern Regionals for 2022, and we'll see you next time.